Hello everyone, and welcome back. This is our last week diving into this book, A Handbook for Teachers of African American Children by Principal Kafele, and you can actually visit principalkafele.com to get your own copy, and I would highly suggest it. All right, so we ended this book on a perfect note. Parental engagement, right? Because it's all about bringing the families in, bringing the teachers in, bringing the students in, us working together to make sure that these students are successful. So the first tip, your first interaction, making sure that it's not a call when the child has done something wrong, right? Making sure that there has already been a call to introduce yourself and to talk about some things that you'll be doing that year with the student in your classroom, to talk about how excited you are to start the year with them, even sending notes home weekly about things that they are doing well in the classroom, so that the first time you talk to the parent or reach out to the parent is not a negative or is not about something negative, okay? Tip number 2, you want to build a positive relationship. That means going and moving outside of your classroom, not always expecting them to come in, but like I mentioned before, going out to them, visiting their birthday parties, visiting their sporting events, right? Going into the places where they are outside of school hours if you can, so that you show them that you're invested in who their child is as a person and not just as your student, okay? Tip number 3. You want to teach the family, right? And I'm very cautious to use the word parent a lot, because sometimes students live with an aunt or uncle or cousins, right? So I try to address the family. And what I mean by teach the family is record yourself teaching the class, record yourself leading a guided reading or a guided math group, so that they can hear the language that you're using, so that they can see the strategies and the tools that you're using, so that they can mimic those same behaviors at home, okay? And then tip number 4, go in with a blank agenda. Don't go in with what your ideas and what your thoughts and what your solutions are for the families, right? Go in with a blank agenda to where you all can sit down together and come up with plans. You all can sit down together and come up with needs and how you're actually going to serve them and what you're going to do to make that learning experience better for their child for the school year, right? And then tip number 5, don't take it personal. I've been in the classroom. I've had one parent show up after I planned tons of activities. I've had 2 parents show up. I've had a time where none of my parents showed up, and I did take it personally because I wanted to know what it was that I wasn't doing correctly, right? But you can't do that, and you can't put it all on yourself when parent engagement is low. Instead, you have to figure out and you have to build these relationships in the beginning in hopes that the parent engagement won't be low, okay? But you can't take it personally if parents don't show up. You have to figure out why, and you have to figure out how you can still get that information to them if they don't come face to face. Maybe they need to FaceTime. Maybe you need to do it over the phone. Maybe they need to do a Google video call. Maybe they need to do a Zoom conference, right? Technology has made it so that we can still reach them if they're open to it. So don't take it personally if you have an event or if you have a conference and parents don't show up, okay? Just figure out a way to still get that information to them, right? So we're talking about parental engagement, that first interaction with them, making sure that we're introducing ourselves, making sure that we're sending positive praise about their students, making sure that we build positive relationships, moving outside of our classroom to build those relationships, making sure that we're teaching the whole family, sharing strategies, sharing vocabulary so that everybody's on the same page, making sure that there's a blank agenda. We're going into it assessing the needs instead of giving out our own personal solutions. And then the last thing, don't take it personal. Find a way to get to them. Don't take it personal if they don't come to you, okay? So this has been A Handbook for Teachers of African American Children. This has been our study of the book. If you have gained any new insight, if you have used any of the tips, please comment, please let me know. And from this point forward, I will go back into my teacher mode. I will be teaching parents. So if there's any questions that you all have about what your elementary students are studying or learning in school, comment with those questions as well. And I will focus on that content during my next videos. And I will see you all next week.